Welcome to the realm of unpopular opinions. There's noise, there's stuff. I think it's better this way. Mic, muffler, and chopsticks. That's besides the point, okay? The whole point of the mic is that I should be able to speak more quietly, and because I wanted to film like outside for a little bit while it's still daylight. Let's hope this actually works. This is a readathon. It's not a 24-hour, it's not a 48-hour, it's not an anything readathon unless I say it is, because we've established that I hate it. I hate rules and regulations in that way. I hate having to count the hours that I'm reading, like being on the clock. It immediately makes me not want to read anything. So I want to show you the books that I want to read and sort of the overall goal for this video, and then we can see if I actually end up doing it. So the noise in the background is driving me insane, but I think it should be quieter on the video itself. We're in a precarious position while we're outside, so let's just get going. Okay, now here's the thing. I have books from the library, but we're not going to be pulling those out yet because the children screaming. We're not going to be pulling out the library books yet because I need to get back into reading after feeling slumpy for so long. We don't need to like force ourselves immediately, okay? The first one is obviously Dazitria 15. I got volume 9 recently, and I've never read the official translation of it. I just read the fan translation, which obviously was very incomplete, and there was stuff that the author just didn't feel like the fan just didn't want to translate. So in order to read the entirety of book 9, I not have to, but want to reread 7 and 8 because I like doing it chronologically. Then the next book, I'm going to try and not drop these. Let me do this like this, actually. Hang on. And the next book that I'm currently reading, that I want to keep reading because I love so much, is No Prisoners. This is the third Clone Wars novel in this series. I read a little bit of it, and when I realized that there was no Anakin or Obi-Wan, I kind of gave up. I won't lie to you. But I do want to read about Rex and Ahsoka. Like, how would I not want to read about Rex and Ahsoka? I was just really in an Anakin and Obi-Wan mood. So when I saw that there was no them, I just straight up gave up. Even though I want to read it. So this is the next thing that we're going to be doing. And then this is something that I read from, like, occasionally, not that much, not that often. That is the Penguin Book of Feminist Writing. I actually read quite a bit of this, reading it like a little at a time, because not everything is essays. There's like excerpts from books, there's poetry, not very good poetry. There was no good poetry so far, but mostly it's essays or like mini think pieces or speeches that have been written down. And I've been reading this like bit by bit. Oh my god, I love it so much. It's just excellent, and I've been like marking the ones that I like. So this is also something that I will be reading throughout this video. Other than that, we have the 2 library books, and we have the what is it called? We have books on my e-reader as well, but that's a little bit more flexible. Let's just focus on these from now on, and see how we go from there, because these are the books that I actually genuinely like want to read at this time. I've just been unable to actually force myself to sit down and do it for reasons that I will not be getting into. So let's do our best while we still have the daylight, and I will update you as we go along and if I have anything to say. We're back in my room. We're back in my room because, like, as you can see, it's getting darker. It's getting darker and darker, and I have finally been reading this because, of course, I'm almost done. There's only like the last conflict and then Chuya's recruitment. But I mean, obviously, something to pull you out of a slump is going to be something that you love, and the Bungo novels are like my favorite thing in the world, in case you didn't know. So obviously that's going to work. I shouldn't have started with these novels because I don't like Chuya and I don't really care about him. So I think I've read these 2 like novels the least, but because of like Dazai and the context with him getting introduced to the mafia and stuff, I do like to reread it for chronology's sake and, just characterization. So I'm going to speed through that. I'm definitely going to finish it now. I might even like go through the highlighted parts in Stormbringer because I read Stormbringer once and I highlighted like all the passages, not passages, like chunks where Dazai appears because everything else is about Chuya and I just reread those. I just reread those passages that I highlighted for myself. So let's go through it. I will read that and then we will have one book read for the readathon. Then I'll try and read Clone Wars probably because that's the thing that I really want to read the most next to realistically this. So what just happened? I think I dropped something. Ever since I was at the balcony, I keep thinking that I dropped something because stuff falls over when I'm outside, but that's a tangent, okay? I drank coffee in between everything, so let's just get reading. The mic was off. Anyway, we finished. Okay, we finished this too. Or rather, again, the marked spots that are the only thing that I read in this novel, which means that we are done. Okay, we are done with the stuff that I have to read before I actually get to novel 9, which was the whole point of all of this. Okay, I am a little fired up right now, I will say. Okay, like the best tip for reading slumps that I continue to give, and I have given, I think, like in that video, is just read something you're really familiar with and that you really, really love, that you can like get into super easily. For me, that's either Star Wars, Bungo, or like one of the lighter mangas that I have. Bungo isn't on the lighter side. Okay, I've stated this before as well. It very easily upsets me especially when we get to Odasaku. But this is a reading log. This is a reading log. This isn't a yap fest about something that I've read like several times. Okay. The whole point of this was just to say that, okay, I've read one book and like the excerpts in another book. Now, if we keep going, I don't think I'll finish book 9 today, but I will definitely start it because I cannot wait to start it. Okay. So we'll definitely have some books read this time around. And then when I finish, maybe I'll make up like a title for this video when I see if it was 24 hours or 48. The whole point is that I don't want to know before I start. We will get to that later. So I will speak to you later. And if I don't speak to you later, I will speak to you tomorrow. Here's the thing. I got sick. Or rather not got sick, but like I went on a trip on Saturday. My parents were sick. I got back. Now I'm sick. So like literally a few days went by. I think like 2 or 3. I think this might be the 3rd day since I was filming. Point being, on that first day, I was still pretending. I was still busy pretending that I wasn't sick. Okay, I read the Bungo novels. I read 7, 8, 9. I don't think I'll keep going with Bungo because it upsets me. I'm in no mood to be upset. I'm depressed enough about this as it is. This like turned sour as far as a reading log is concerned. So let me just like, I don't know, turn on the light or something. Hang on. As we can see, I look excellent. Okay, just don't mind the room. That is not why we're here. Okay, what we are here is to talk about the stuff that I do want to keep reading. Okay, the library stuff stresses me out because obviously there's like a date I have to return it by. However, it's extendable. So it's not 3 weeks, it's 6 weeks. First of all, we have The Death of King Arthur by Peter Ackroyd. I think I tried to get this one time and then I was just not in the mood for it. So I said, what the hell? Let's get it again. And I want to try it out. It's not too long. That's what helped me actually decide to get it. And then I like to roam through like the fantasy portion of the library because there's always the randomest stuff you find there that I've literally never heard of. I found Spirit Gate by Kate Elliott. This is a little bit thicker and it's part of a series, so that's like not ideal. Really not ideal. but I want to try it and I want to start it. And if I don't finish it, like by the time I have to return it and I do like it, I might actually like get it and read it myself. But these are the two books that I got from the library. And I think because again, like the clock is ticking as far as they're concerned, I think I might prioritize them a little bit. I can't stop thinking about Bungo, which is like really not ideal because I'm just not doing that to myself. It upsets me too much. I'm not in the mental headspace to be depressed even more than I am. So I might keep reading Star Wars and I might keep reading one of the library books. We will see. I will let you know, but I do want to actually keep reading because I was on a roll. I was on such a roll with Bungo. One thing is I read volume 9, novel 9, um, for the first time in official translation because like the fan translation, not that it wasn't good, but it wasn't complete. Like they just skipped over stuff that they didn't feel like translating. So this was like the first time I read it in its entirety. It upset me. It upset me more than I remembered because I've read side A like 1,200 times by now, but I only read side B once. Okay, once. Oh, I also read Beast because, of course, I did. I only read side B once because I remember how much it upset me the first time, just like Beast, the novel, and the manga. But this time around, my clever clog self decided to read both side B and reread Beast because I really don't know what the matter with me is. Like, why would I do that to myself? Okay, like Beast just it feels like a hole is punched through my chest every time I read that. And then side B of volume 9 of novel 9 is it's such a gut punch that I forgot about it. Okay, like the last like 2 pages of side B were so upsetting. I was literally going to the bathroom when I was reading it that I had to like stop, go into the bathroom, go into the bathroom and finish it while I was crying in there. And my mother literally said like, "What's wrong? Why are you in the bathroom reading?" I was so upset. I was so upset. I had to cry in the bathroom. Okay, I forgot how upsetting that was. And obviously, after that, I had to read Beast because I'm a little self destructive or whatever. But after that, I was like, you're going to put it down. You're going to put it down. We're not doing this. Okay. Like, we're just not doing this. You're sick. You already feel god awful. You're really not going to keep doing this to yourself. I got off track. Point is, we're done with the Bungo novels for now. That took its toll. Okay, that took its toll, honestly. I should have just stuck to side A of book 9 and called it a day because that also upsets me because I know what comes after. The whole thing is like positive. It ends on a positive note. I'm getting off track. Anytime I get talking about my favorite books of all time, I'm like unable to shut up. And it's been a few days, so I really felt like talking. Really felt like talking. And now my throat is dry, so I'm going to make some tea and we will talk later. Okay. I'll let you know what I read. I do not know how long it's been since the last update, but let's talk. These 2 books, we're done with them. That doesn't mean that they were completed, but we are done with them. So, like, let's go through them one by one. I'm a little bit better now. I can actually breathe, even though the weather's getting hot, so I'm not that great. That doesn't matter. Let's get into the books. Spirit Gate by Kate Elliott. I DNF'd this, like, during chapter 2. Okay. I was thinking that, like, this is, like, a little bit taxing. Like, the writing style isn't, like, really up my alley, so I feel like I have to really exert myself to read it. So I was like, okay, like, the eagle thing is cool, and I do like the main female character. She's, like, a little bit more unique than something you'd expect from a story like this. So I was like, let's look on Goodreads and see if any of that stuff actually pays off. And spoiler, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Like, the only thing that might like entice me to keep reading this and to put in effort to read it is something that's the least significant part of the novel. And actually, I will spoil this for you. I will spoil this for you because it is like the very beginning. The cool, interesting female character who's on the cover and who you meet in the beginning, she dies like right away. right away, apparently. Okay, like in chapter 3. I wish I was spoiled in regards to this. And then I just realized that I didn't care. I didn't like it enough, to try and see if it was worth it. And I read reviews that kind of actually convinced me to give it up. Now, as for the death of King Arthur, this is something that I didn't realize what it was. This is just straight up a retelling of Thomas Mallory's The Death of King Arthur. That's literally all it is. Like, it's put together and summed up and feels very, 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 very Christian, which again, yes, the original is as well, but with this being so much shorter and so succinct and literally like a summary of Le Mort, this just feels like Christian propaganda. Like it feels like every impactful moment that's told to you is given and fed to you as a Jesus Christ thing, which I was not interested in that. I was just not interested in that. None of the mythology stays, is what I'm trying to convey. Like, none of the legend mythology remains. It's just a dry retelling, highlighting all the super, super, super religious stuff from the original. So, like, this was completely pointless. But I am glad because I don't have to waste my time on it. Now, the third one, the thing that we actually have to talk about because it upsets me quite a bit is No Prisoners by Karen Travis, the Clone Wars novel. Okay. Where do I even start with this? I haven't read a single, and I'm not talking about Disney. We don't mention Disney in my universe. A single Star Wars novel where I thought, like, okay, that was completely out of character. I'm continuously impressed with all the different authors keeping characters and world building and stuff, like 95% consistent with each other. Like, I'm always impressed how different authors, like, for example, take the character of Anakin and manage to write him consistently. Now, Karen Travis is one of them, okay, because she did the Clone Wars novelization of the film and she did the previous novel to this one, which was, I don't even know what it's called. I want to say Wild Space. I think it's Wild Space. And I loved those two so, so much. Specifically, Wild Space is in my, like, top Star Wars novels. Now, I loved every single second of that novel. This one, I was a little bit less interested in because it's focused on Rex and Ahsoka, who I love, but specifically as supporting characters. I don't think Rex or Ahsoka, especially like here, like 14-year-old Ahsoka, can carry a novel. And Karen Travis agrees, okay, because there's Anakin and Padme in here, even though I don't think it was that necessary. And even more egregiously, there are so many characters that I don't give a crap about. I've looked it up, and apparently some of them like show up in later EU novels, or rather chronologically later EU novels, original trilogy era. But I don't care about that. I don't care about that. And there are so many new characters that I also don't care about. And like, she proves my point that Rex and Ahsoka can't carry a novel on their own. Like, as soon as I saw that it was Rex and Ahsoka on the back, I was like, that's going to be questionable because they're just not main character worthy, specifically here, like especially here at the beginning of the Clone Wars. My air fryer just went off. I'll be back in a second. I am back. The air fryer has been secured. Okay. To get back to the point, okay? She agrees that they can't carry a novel. So the problem ends up being, do you care about these other side characters? Spoiler, no, you don't. No, you don't. Okay, you really, really do not. I might just mark this whole clip like as a spoiler because I feel like I do need to discuss it, but I will try and make it non-spoiler. Let's see if I can do it like as a little challenge. Okay. There's a sect of Jedi in this novel who get married, like have children, have families. And this was done in such an unrealistic, canon-breaking, lore problematic way that it raises far more questions than it does serve the story to help Anakin explore his attachment issues, okay? Like, there's so many problems that crop up during this, especially when I think she overdoes it with how many of them there are and how it's presented in like a rose colored glasses kind of way and not really properly discussed. It feels like they were literally just shoehorned in there to raise the question for Ahsoka and Anakin. And another thing, I don't think anyone here was a proper character. Like, she already wrote Padme a bit strangely in the last book. But here, Anakin, Padme, Ahsoka, Rex, especially, are behaving so out of character that I was genuinely irked. Like, it has to be extreme for me to be bothered because, again, I love them so much that I'm willing to forgive like little discrepancies. That's just what happens when you have so many authors writing novels in one universe. Like, it happens that the characters are sometimes inconsistent. But this entire novel felt to me like they would never say that. They would never do that. Like, if this happened the way it happened here, that would cause so many problems, like, for the entire series. Like, this is the very beginning of the Clone Wars. Like, if this happened in the series, this would cause so many problems. And I don't know why this is. Because again, Wild Space was immaculate. Immaculate. And it is the same author and it's the same series. So it really makes me wonder, like, what the hell happened here? Yeah, it was written like chronologically. It wasn't written later on. I don't know what happened here. This is the first Star Wars novel that isn't Disney that I gave like under 3 stars. I don't think I've ever given like maybe under 4 stars, but recently I gave also another novel 3 stars and then this one got 2. It's just abysmal. It's like this isn't supposed to be happening. I've read a lot of Star Wars novels at this point. So like, and by this author I've read 2. So like, what happened here, Karen? Like, were you having an off day where you didn't like any of these people, so you just wrote them how you thought you should write them for the premise to work? Like, I don't know what happened here, but I hated it. But again, considering how much I loved Wild Space, I really don't know what occurred here. I got this immediately because I bought the entire series, obviously. Like, we have the 2 Gambit books, this with Anakin and Obi-Wan. And like, I hope this brings me back on track because like what happened in No Prisoners? Like, I already had my qualms about the book. I previously didn't even want to buy it. Like, I bought this and the last book and didn't even buy No Prisoners. But then I loved Wild Space so much that I was like, okay, I have to have literally all the books. Why would I want to skip No Prisoners? At this point, I wish I'd skip No Prisoners because it doesn't add to anything, and in fact, it detracts from all of them as characters and from the world building as a whole. It just bothered the crap out of me how many questions were cropping up and how many problems were appearing in the narrative. So those are our updates. Okay, I don't know if I will jump into this immediately. I might read some more Jedi Apprentice on my e-reader, but at least we got rid of the library holes. We finished a book that we've been putting off for a while, and I don't know if I'll want to read like another feminist essay or if I feel like reading some more Patricia McKillop. We'll see. Or I might just jump into this to have my faith restored, or I might read Jedi Apprentice because the last also Jedi Apprentice book number 4, I super didn't like. I gave that 3 stars. I was like, this was so dull and didn't add anything to either of the characters of Obi-Wan Kenobi or Qui-Gon Jinn. So I will update you as we go along, but first I think I will eat lunch. Yes, the cooling is on. Okay, ignore that for now. I really don't know how long this video will be. Because I feel like I'm doing less updating and more actual reading, which again is a positive thing. Obviously, that's what we kind of want to be doing in a reading vlog. But also, I feel like I haven't really talked about anything that I've been reading except like the 2 DNFs. Okay, so this, the e-reader. I'm gonna have to hold it up because there's no book to hold up right now. Okay. E-reader. Me, myself, and I read 3 Jedi Apprentice books. Okay, since then. I picked up one because I was like, let's just keep reading. And then it got so intense and I was so like mesmerized by what was happening between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan that I was like, I need to see what happens next. I just read 3. Okay, I read 3 of them today. Mind you, they're short, okay? The ebook has 200 pages, which means that the normal book probably has like 100, 130, 150. Like they're small books, but still, it's like 500 pages that I read today. That's for sure when you like put it all together. Not 500, 400, but it doesn't matter. I read 3 books today, okay? And I deeply loved them so much. I might read a feminist essay and some more Jedi Apprentice, and then I might end the vlog. The plot that's really interesting and that's happening right now is a dramatic twist with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon's relationship that reshapes how I view Obi-Wan and Anakin's relationship, because it's just so interesting to watch. Jude Watson is just an absolute gem, and I'm so happy she actually made this contribution to like the Star Wars series with these like 30 novels, okay? Because she fleshes out the disaster lineage so much that now I wish she'd written a series about Qui-Gon and Dooku, because that also would have been fascinating. Just seeing all the mentor characters as Padawans makes it fascinating, you know, like to read a book where Ahsoka is the Padawan, then to read a book where Anakin is the Padawan, then where Obi-Wan is the Padawan, so on and so forth. I would have loved to see Qui-Gon as a Padawan. But I love this, and I love Xanatos as the bad guy, and I love the Jedi, even though they're not that present here. They were present in book 7, I want to say. I think this is book 9 that I'm holding up on the e-reader. I just want to read. I want to keep reading it. I want to keep reading it, and I will keep reading it. Other than that, okay, I think I'm going to read like an essay of this because I don't have that much left. The only problem is that the other day there was this essay that I read that just caught me off guard. I was like, okay, what happened to hello? What happened to how are you? Because I was not the target audience for that at all. And I was not feeling great after that one. So we're going to have to see what book I do next. But other than that, I think that's it. I don't want this vlog to be too long, so maybe I'll like look at the footage and see if it's an hour long. But if I feel like there's still room, we're going to keep talking about reading, because it's been such a long time since I've read this much in a short span of time, and I'm loving it so much. It's important that I'm loving it, not just forcing myself. So let's see what we do next. never managed to finish this vlog. Okay, so here I am finishing it. I've definitely since then read like so many Star Wars books. I read like over 800 pages in 3 days, okay, because I could not put it down. And we've once again, just like at the beginning of the year with Patricia McKillop, come to the conclusion that slumps are sometimes deceptive, because I thought I was in a slump. Nothing was working for me. I was putting down like 10 books in a row, only to pick up Star Wars books by the beautiful, the wonderful, the heartbreaking, and heart-wrenching Karen Miller. And it turns out it's not actually my fault. It's the book's fault, because she hooked me like within a singular line. Okay. And I did not want to put it down. I was actively depressed when I was putting it down and when I was close to finishing it. So, but that's a story for another day. Definitely for a wrap up, I will expand on that. But this video was about getting me back into reading. And if we've discovered anything, it's that apparently I've been sort of, like I said before, and I say it now, I want to read Star Wars. Like, I want to read at least some Star Wars every year. But I feel like the last few years, I was pretty crap at this like aim. I read like one, maybe two Star Wars novels a year. I think I read like literally one last year, and then maybe two the year before. This year, I feel like pretty much the majority of what I have read has been Star Wars novels, like Clone Wars novelizations, Jedi Quest, Jedi Apprentice. Like, I've read so much Star Wars this year, and I am nowhere close to stopping. Okay, here next to me, I have the first book in the Thrawn trilogy. I have two more fairly thick Clone Wars books to get to, although I don't think I'll do that right now. I'm a little too depressed to read about the Clone Wars, which is why I picked up the Thrawn book. I also want to order the two Darth Maul EU books. Point being, like the EU universe timeline that's in the novels, I want to have read all the books from the prequels, and then we'll see if I read anything beyond that. But I've gotten off topic, and that was not the point of the video. The point of the video is this is the year for Star Wars. Okay. I also joined like an in-person Star Wars fan club. I've gone to a couple events with them. So like this is just the year of Star Wars for me. It's not getting back into it because I am always in it. It's my favorite thing in the world, but I'm definitely getting back into the swing of things. Okay. Like I am rewatching Clone Wars. I'm going to the quizzes. I'm participating in the events. I'm reading the novels. Like I'm in a way that I wasn't in a little while. So, and definitely when I was in the trenches this year, reading the ebooks for Jedi Quest and Jedi Apprentice like helped me immeasurably. Okay, so I will see you in the next video. I am taking up your time.